Today we're looking at some Roosevelt dimes that are worth some good money. We're actually going to be looking at the 1964 silver Roosevelt dime, the last year that they produced these dimes in 90% silver. So welcome back to Couch Collectibles. Hope you guys are having an awesome day as always. If you guys are new, feel free to check out all the other coin and collectible videos here on the channel. As always, let's just hop into this one. Starting off first with a 1964 Roosevelt dime that has been broad struck. Look at that. That is a very awesome type of broad strike taking place. This coin ended up selling for $180. It is graded by PCGS at a mint state 65. Now this next coin here is graded by ANACS at a mint state 64. It looks like the coin is damaged. However, this dime sold for over $170 because it has that ragged clip. That is a mint error, and like I say, $170 for that dime. You can actually see the D mint mark there on the reverse of the coin as we zoom in there. So if you guys are not familiar with where the mint marks are on Roosevelt dimes, that's where we're going to look for the D mint mark for specific years. Alright, so also on your 1964 D mint marks, you want to look for doubling on the coin, some extra thickness here on the lettering. So you'll want to look for that there on the obverse of the coin. This is the double die obverse, the front of the coin. And look for that on the lettering, the initials there, and the date. 1964 itself. Alright, so here's a 1964 dime D mint mark that sold for over $1,900, nearly a $2,000 coin, because the coin is in excellent condition, because the coin is graded at a mint state 68 by the coin grading company PCGS. So a perfect grade is a 70. This is a 68, which means it's in very good condition. If there's not many of them out there at a 68, especially with this unique type of toning here, then that's what's going to increase the value of the coin. So here's another example of a 1964 D mint mark that is graded at a mint state 65, only 3 grades lower, and this coin only sold for around $15. So very risky when grading coins like this, because grades, you know, this close are you know, really risky. It's just it's make or break. You know, mint state 65, you're only looking at 15 bucks. Mint state 68, you're over 1900. So big difference there in value. Now here is a mint error coin from 1964, the D mint mark that has been double struck. This Roosevelt dime is graded by ANACS at a mint state 60, and this coin sold for over $175. Also, on your 1964 Roosevelt dimes, you want to look on the reverse for doubling. So a doubled die reverse, you want to look for that there on the lettering of the coin, all on the reverse of your dimes. Now you can do that with your coin microscope. I have those available on couchcollectibles.com. Now here's a 1964 mint error. This Roosevelt coin design was struck onto a defective planchet. Only weighs 2.2 grams. This coin sold for over $300. Moving on to a 1964 that had the reverse struck through a capped die. So here on the obverse looks very normal like any old 1964 dime. Here on the reverse you could see that mint error. So you can look for die caps on all kinds of different coins, not just dimes, you know, pennies, quarters, nickels, all that good stuff. This coin sold for $120. This next coin here only sold for $15. It does have an obverse lamination and that clip, that curved clip at the top of the dime. So, you know, nothing too valuable there. It's only graded at an AU 58, 15 bucks for that coin. Here's a 1964 dime that sold for over $300 because of the indent taking place here on the obverse of the coin. It also does have a partial collar around the rim of the coin. So 300 bucks for that dime. Here's another example of a double strike taking place here on the 1964 dime, and the second strike is flipped over. So you'll see the obverse design here with the reverse, and then you'll see the result of the mint error here on the obverse of the coin as well. So this coin ended up selling for over $820, graded by NGC at a mint state 64. Now here's a 1964 no mint mark that is graded by PCGS at a mint state 67 plus with full bands. So this coin is, you know, very nice coin, very nice condition coin. That's why the coin sold for over $2,300. That's right, $2,300 for that dime because of its condition and having that full bands. Here's an example of what full bands looks like on your Roosevelt dimes. You can also look for that there on Mercury dimes in your coin collection. If you guys inherited coin collections, things like that, definitely check out my other dime videos to, you know, see other examples of those. So let's move on to a 1964. No mint mark that is graded at a mint state 64. So we go from a mint state 67 plus that sold for $2,300. This 1964 graded at an MS 64 only sold for around 15 bucks. Big difference there in values once again. Now here's a 1964 no mint mark that was struck 80% off center, graded by NGC at a mint state 63, and this coin sold for over $140 at auction. Here's another example of an off center struck 50% off center. This coin ended up selling for over $190 at auction. And then here's one more example of a 1964 off center dime. This coin ended up selling for over $200 at auction, struck 35% off center. Now this next coin here sold for $3,600 because it's the 1964 Roosevelt Dime design that was struck onto a United States 1 cent alloy planchet. So that's going to make the coin valuable. Like I say, $3,600 for that dime. Also, for your 1964 dimes, just so you can distinguish the difference between a blunt 9 and a pointed 9, of course, it kind of speaks for itself. The pointed 9 here, you see that it's more pointed at the end of the curve. Here on the other one, it's the blunt 9. So there's how you tell the difference on those. But let's move on here to a 1964 that has a die cap, a reverse die cap, graded by NGC at a mint state 66. This coin ended up selling for $450. Moving right along to a 1964 D mint mark that has a repunch mint mark. Even though this coin is graded at a mint state 66, the coin only sold for around 35 bucks. So nothing really too valuable there. Actually, here's an example of the repunched mint mark that you want to look for. So you'll see that D mint mark, you'll see the line. If you look up to the top middle of the D, you'll see that line there. And then if you look over to the right middle of the D, you'll see that line there. That's the repunched mint mark there, the mint mark underneath the big D mint mark that you're looking at. So there's an example of that. Next up is going to be a 1964 no mint mark that was struck through cloth. So if we move here to the reverse, you'll see the texture and design of that cloth that was in place when this coin was being struck. And this dime ended up selling for over $260 as a result of that mint error. Now this next coin here is very cool as well. This is, I love these type of mint errors. Things like this are just really interesting to me. This is a 1964 D mint mark where the obverse was struck through reading. So you can see that the reading texture design there going through the obverse of this Roosevelt dime. Like I say, $340 for that coin. Here's a 1964 that has been struck 3 times. Triple struck, and the 3 strikes are off center. Look at that. That is very awesome. Absolutely love it. This coin graded at a mint state 64, and this dime sold for over $630. Now we looked at a double die reverse and a double die obverse earlier. You want to look for doubling on the back of the coin on all the lettering. This is an example of that. So a 1964 D mint mark that has the double die reverse, and it's also graded at a mint state 65. So it's in very good condition, and this coin ended up selling for $1,800. So again, nearly a $2,000 dime there. Now if you compare that to a 1964 D, same thing, has the double die reverse, however the grade is different. It's graded at an AU 55 as opposed to a mint state 65. So 10 grades lower on the coin grading scale, and this coin sold for a little over $190. So let's just say 200 bucks to 1,800 bucks. Big difference in value there based on the condition. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe in the middle. Check out the videos to the left of me. And until tomorrow, I'll see you guys in the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.